I want to go to the phones and take this. I don't know. This is the person on the line. It says Josie on my call screener, but she's been identified, and I had our call screener talking to her as a friend of Darren Wilson, the officer that was involved in this. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much.
So, just give me. You said that you're a friend of the officer that was identified by the police as being involved in the Michael Brown situation. Give me your aspect on this, because your friend's name, this officer's name is out there. Talk a little bit to this.
Okay. Well, it's been really, really hard to be quiet because I do know his version of the story, and I haven't. It seems like everyone only is talking about the other side. I understand they haven't really gotten to hear this side. And I've been afraid to say anything. I think we all are, all of his friends and family. But I just feel like I at least need to put out there his version of events so maybe people can consider them as the truth, if nothing else.
Okay.
So do you want me to kind of run down?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So he said that, they were walking in the middle of the street. He rolled his window down and, said, "Come on, guys, get out of the street." They refused to and were yelling back and saying, "We're almost where we're going." And there was some cussing involved. And then he just kept rolling up and he pulled over. And I believe at that point he called for backup, but I'm not sure. But I know he pulled up ahead of them and he was watching them. And then he gets the call in that there was a strong armed robbery, and they give the description. And he's looking at them. They got something in their hands that looks like it could be what, those cigars or whatever. So he goes in reverse back to them, tries to get out of his car. They slam his door shut violently. I think he said Michael did. And then he opened his car again, tries to get out. And as he stands up, Michael just bum rushes him, just shoves him back into his car, punches him in the face. And then, of course, Darren grabs for his gun, and Michael grabs the gun. At one point, he's got the gun totally turned against his hip, and Darren, shoves it away, and the gun goes off. Well, then Michael takes off with his friend. They get to be about 35 feet away, and, Darren, of course, protocol is to pursue. So he stands up and yells, "Freeze." Michael and his friend turn around, and Michael starts taunting him, "Oh, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to shoot me." And then he said all of a sudden he just started to bum rush him. He just started coming at him full speed. And so he just started shooting, and he just kept coming. So he really thinks he was on something because he just kept coming. It was unbelievable. And then so he finally ended up, the final shot was in the forehead, and then he fell about 2-3 feet in front of the officer. So that's why the stories are going around that, he was shot execution style. I think some people saw, the shot in his head. Of course, ballistics will prove he wasn't shot in the back like the other people are saying, the quote-unquote witnesses. But that's his version of what happened.
Now, can I ask, how did you come by this information? Is this something that did you have discussions with the family? How did you come to know the details of it?
With his significant other told me. It was before it was such a huge, it was Sunday night before the riot. So, it was when they were still on Facebook, everyone was still talking, it was kind of an open discussion at that point. I, of course, had no idea it would turn into this.
Right. And has his family, are they in town? Have they left town?
They have not been in contact with anyone since Tuesday morning.
Wow.
And I don't
I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you calling in and giving that perspective. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling into the program. And that individual is a person who claims that they were friends with the officer involved in the Mike Brown shooting, Darren Wilson. So that, and again, that the investigation will, when the investigation's concluded and more details are released, earlier this morning, the incident report was released. All of that's going to come out. What did they say it was going to take? Like, something like 4 weeks or so. What was it? 2 to 4 weeks for
I heard 2. So it's probably going to be over 2.
The toxicology.
I'm sure. Yeah, I think I heard 2, maybe 4. So 2 to 4 weeks would be a good number to tell.
Now, see, that's going to be really interesting, that toxicology report, too. And I know, and that to me, and everyone's like, why would they do that? Because it's standard. That's why they do it. There are a lot of people who are like, well, you're reinforcing stereotypes. No one is. That's standard. They do toxicology reports. And in fact, every single friend that I've ever had any death in that way, or when a young person passes away, they do those. I've seen them done quite a lot, or I've been aware that they have been done. Not like I actually saw them do it. So that's, it seems kind of standard. But that was an interesting account. I mean, and I don't know, that caller said that they were friends with Darren Wilson and, speaking to their significant other, and that's how she got those details. You always have to be very careful in situations like that. You don't want to say, oh, that definitely was a friend, or it definitely, but, that it'll be interesting to see if, when the investigation concludes, if all of those details that she just gave, if that matches up with what comes out of the investigation. So anyway, that's the very